First game back, how's it feel?
It feels good to win. Obviously, it was a poor performance on offense. I mean, so much so I called it ugly in our locker room. Now it's about as ugly an offensive performance as I've been around for a long time. But the objective is to win the game. And we found a way to win the game. And hopefully, because it was our first live action against somebody else, our offense will improve dramatically this week, so we play much better next week, because we're obviously playing a much more talented team next week.
You know, there'd be some growing pains with the new offensive formation. Did you think it would struggle as much as it did tonight?
No, what I thought was what you saw in the first half. I thought we'd struggle in the first quarter, and then somewhere in the second quarter we'd start getting a little rhythm and start making some plays, which we did in the second quarter. But I actually thought that would carry over to the second half, which it really didn't. So that was disappointing that it didn't carry over to the second half.
Coach, what is your thought on the miscues, the muff snap on the field goal attempt, and the fumble on the exchange as well?
Well, the one that the snap that went over the quarterback's head early on, they were calling out our snap count. And they actually called our snap count on the field goal where the ball was snapped and nobody was ready for the snap. Now, that's coming from our players. I didn't hear it, and I talked to the officials. I mean, I'm too far away to hear it, but I talked to the officials about it after halftime, after our players said that they were using our snap count. When they would move the defensive line, they were using our snap count, which is illegal, but if the officials can't hear it, they can't call it. And the officials said they couldn't hear it. So, obviously, we have to be much more disciplined on offense than we were. And on our kicking team. I mean, that might have been the difference in the game. Late in the game, I'd have much rather been 9-0 instead of 6-0.
Is there anything in particular that you think prevented the offense from getting any kind of rhythm?
I don't think we blocked very well up front. I don't think the offensive line played very well. And then Juwan hurt his ankle a little bit, so he wasn't 100%. But I didn't see except for a little spurt in the second quarter where we actually ran the ball pretty well. We didn't block very well for the run, and our receivers didn't seem to get open, or at least Ryan couldn't find them.
Coach, give me an update on the secondary. What it was like, because I saw Kyrie was starting at corner. Darren Hall didn't seem like he wasn't there. So what was it like shuffling Kyrie back to corner, and then I think I saw Hawkins at the other forward position? How that
Well, we think we actually have. Let me count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. We think we have 4. I gotta get them right. 4 quality safeties. Okay, if Kyrie has to play corner. If Kyrie is able to play inside, we have 5 quality safeties. So in order to make sure we're too deep at every spot, they play all 3 spots. They take turns playing all 3 spots of the 3 safeties in the middle. Darren Hall came up with a hip flexor, hurt himself in practice on Tuesday, and the most experienced corner we have in our program is Kyrie Woods, because that's where he played the whole time. So we moved him back out the corner, and then we alternated the other 4 at the 3 safety spots.
But that's kind of the plan moving forward, since you do have that, I guess, surplus of safeties, as you were saying. Is that something that's
No, we'd rather Darren be healthy
I'm saying
and
the
be out there.
safeties.
Well, no, it'd be nice if all 5 of them were at safety,
Okay.
because we could keep them fresh and they can play all 3 spots. Yeah.
Coming into the game, you talked a lot about how well Weber State's offense looked like it could do, and yet you guys have a shutout for the first time in the last 3 seasons. What did your defense do that enabled you to do something and dominate like that?
Well, I thought they're a great big offensive line, and they don't seem to handle movement real well. And we're a little tiny defensive line, so we move them every time. And I think our movement really hurt their running game. You know, when you see a defensive end hitting a guy in the backfield at 3 yards depth, that means somebody missed him. When he stunted, somebody missed him. I thought they had a great plan coming in. if you notice, we didn't blitz very much because they were going to be, as long as our offense wasn't scoring, they were going to be very satisfied seeing the blitz coming and just throw it out there for a 5 and 6 yard gain. So you never get them off the field because their quarterback's pretty good. And if he gets it off on time, you can blitz and not hit him either. So they forced us into playing zone the whole time, which means it's a 4-man rush, and I didn't think our 4-man rush got enough heat on the quarterback. Now, there were some big-time plays made. I mean, we knocked the ball down. We sacked them once. We made enough plays on defense to win the game. Tariq Thompson made 2 big-time plays toward the end of the game to save the victory.
Coach, what was your thoughts on the 3rd and 8 where that led to the second field goal where Ryan Agnew seemed like he was running around and kind of just threw the ball up across the field? What were you thinking on that play? I mean, Bellinger did end up catching it for the first down, but is that something you...
Well, you've watched Ryan play. Ryan's a scrambler. You can tell him not to scramble, and then you take half his game away. So a scrambler, sometimes you wonder what the heck he's doing. Now, he didn't get a sack. He threw it out of bounds, so he didn't get sacked. And I think, if I'm right, maybe someone here watches it closer, he got us a couple critical first downs by scrambling, too. So every time he scrambles, I don't know what he's doing because I can't see it from the sidelines. If you're up in the press box, you can probably see it a whole lot better than I can. I just see him running around out there looking for someone to throw it to.
I think what he's getting at is there's one ball over the middle late to Bellinger that might have been ill-advised. It was up there a little bit.
Did we drop it or he threw it over it?
Caught it. So
He caught it?
Is that the one where you pat him on the back if he caught it, but if he hadn't?
Anytime it's successful play, you know, it's one of those deals. No. Oh, great job. One of those deals.
You get kind of nervous if he's like running there up. I mean, he is going for the first down, so that's what you want. But at the same time, is there a part of you where it's like you kind of rather have him slide or protect himself and not potentially get hurt?
Well, here I'm gonna be old school on you. A player is a player. If that's the way he plays, let him play that way. You don't start trying to change their personality and their character. I mean, he's a good player. That's the way he plays. I mean, I was asked why we let our kicker tackle a guy on a kickoff return. He's a football player. He's out there. If he's in a position to make a tackle, he's supposed to make a tackle. Okay, now some people think that, some younger coaches think that's dumb. You're supposed to protect them all the time. You don't play this game to be protected.
Coach, did the defensive line take a step forward tonight? I know you've voiced your concerns about them before.
Well, they played pretty well tonight. We'll see how they do next week when there's better players blocking them.
Bird and Bell both had good runs tonight. Did either really stick out as the primary backup for Juwan?
I don't know about primary. I thought Jordan Bird played pretty well the whole night. I mean, he had a couple pretty nice punt returns, too. And when he got a little seam in there, he seemed to be the only one that accelerated through the seam and got into the secondary, where the other, Juwan was limping around and no one else seemed to get into the secondary. Now, I wish he could make him miss a little bit better because he's fast. If he can make one guy miss, they're not catching him. But he was the one I thought hit the hole the best out of all of them, just watching from the sideline.
What do you think of Ariza's debut and then also the effort that Heiklin had to
I thought Heiklin had a great night. Ariza had an okay night. I mean, we got really lucky on the kickoff return for a touchdown. He was not supposed to kick it like that. You kick it like that, the return man gets the ball way before the coverage is down there. And if you have a good kickoff return man, you see what happens. So that's on him. That's not on the coverage team. That's on him.
What makes him do that on that particular?
I don't know. I've never been a kicker. He miskicked it. He missed it a little bit. Yeah, he wasn't doing that on purpose. I promise you he wasn't doing that on purpose.